This morning, I woke up, had my coffee, opened the laptop, and there was a video on YouTube by Tony Northrup, who was talking about the demise of DP Review. And that video heralds a very dark day in photography. How's it, guys? I have had dealings with DP Review many times over the years. I'm not an active member of their forum, but every time I research something about photography, there is usually a link to DP Review in the results or during my research. And that is a measure of how important that website is to the photographic community. So I jumped over onto their website and I had a look. And there at the top of the page, there was a banner that said DP Review is closing on the 10th of April. And there's a statement here by Scott Everett. And he says that after nearly 25 years of operation, DP Review will be closing in the near future. This difficult decision is part of the annual operating plan review, and we'll get to that in a minute, that our parent company shared earlier this year. The site will remain active until 10th of April, and the editorial team is still working on reviews and looking forward to delivering some of our best ever content. Everyone on our staff was a reader and fan of DP Review before working here, and we are grateful for the communities that formed around the site. Thank you for your support over the years, and we hope you'll join us in the coming weeks as we celebrate this journey. Sincerely, Scott Everett. Now, let's look at that first part, right? This difficult decision is part of the annual operating plan review that our parent company created earlier this year. Now, I wasn't aware of this, but DP Review's parent company is Amazon. Same Amazon who are quite happy to sell you equipment, to give affiliate links, to do all this kind of stuff. So cool to support photography and creators and all that sort of stuff. But they have made a decision that because DP Review is not profitable, they're going to close it down. Now, I get it. Okay, we live in a capitalist society. Companies own assets like DP Review to make money. But I find the decision just to summarily close it very weird. They haven't said that they want to sell it or that they're going to offer it to the subscribers or to the people who use it and turn it into a subscription model. They've just decided to close it and to delete it from existence. Later on they talk about that the site will remain active till April 10th and then it's going to go into read-only mode, and I quote, for a limited time, which implies that it's not going to be accessible forever. Now, I don't want to lean into hyperbole here, but this in many respects feels like it's kind of the pillaging and the burning of the Library of Alexandria, that over that 25-year period of DP Review being active, that it has built up a huge repository of knowledge and experience and support and just insight into photography. Now, I appreciate there are many other places that offer similar, but none of them seem to have this overall arch that reaches out. As I said, when you're looking for things about photography, that DP Review is there. It is such an important role, especially for people who are looking to get into photography and don't know where to start. That it feels like an absolute travesty that a company just decides, no, it's not making any money, so we're not going to sell it. We're not going to do anything. We're just going to chuck it on the bonfire of history and have done with it. Why? Now, I can hear my English teacher recoiling at this because I've just asked a rhetorical question. At least I think it's a rhetorical question. Again, he's probably recording because I've asked a lot. But anyway, when I watched that video by Tony Northrup, he was visibly emotional about this because he talked about that sense of community. And this letter from the general manager also talks about the formation of community around the sites. That Tony said, this is the first place that he felt welcomed when he was making that transition into digital photography. That it's been there for the existence of digital for a lot of photographers. That sense of community is important. We live in a world that is connected, but also extremely fractured. And I don't understand, maybe because I'm naive, right? That Amazon can't look at that community and go, do you know what? This is something that we could monetize differently. I don't know, something. But from a user's point of view, how many people these days are housebound, or they live in a remote area, or they feel they don't want to go out, or any of these many things? And communities like that have been formed around DP Review give them a sense of connection, of an ability and a place to share ideas, to build friendships, to do all of these things that are so vital to us as creative people. There are, of course, other communities which will welcome, no doubt, with open arms. People will drift off and go into them and stuff like that. But none of them really have that magnetic attraction that DP Review seems to have for a large number of people in the photographic community. So what's going to happen is that all these things are going to splinter off, and they're going to be lost. And the photographic community as a whole is going to be poorer for this result, because no longer are people going to feel that they can jump into a conversation and contribute to a bigger body of knowledge. They're going to go to places much like Reddit, where it's not quite the same. Things seem to get lost. It's not as structured. There's not a place where you feel the same sense of organization. One of the things that strikes me, when you go onto the DP Review website, because it is a bit old-fashioned, because it is mired in, or say mired, that's a negative word, but because it is set in that old form, forum way, that you can see all the topics, all of those things drop down. It's like many, many doors you can go and explore, all in one place. That's the crying shame, is that all of these things are no longer going to be in one place. They're going to be discarded, stripped, thrown away out to the four corners of wherever, if they're going to resurface at all. Because there is no solution to this. There is no, we can do this and we can shave that and stuff like that. That's the end of it. I think that is the crying shame. And I really think it's bizarre that Amazon haven't even considered selling the site. They're just going to close it and delete it. It is a timely reminder that while we think the things that we do on the internet are ours, the thoughts that we put out there, the videos that we make, the images that we share, they're only accessible because somebody else says that they are. YouTube could choose to close all of this down tomorrow, and all this information would just be gone. 404. And if there's one positive, a small positive that might come from this, is that I would like you to think about what you think is a permanent idea as a transient thing. What would you do if you, even on a very personal level, what would you do if all your images were lost, or if the cloud service that you used shut down? I'm sorry this video seems really such a downer, but I've spent the last 2 years trying to make photography accessible in my own small way. And it is disheartening to see that when people who have committed decades of their lives to also fostering and developing the love for photography, that some board members, some suits can just take all that away because the figure at the bottom of the Excel spreadsheet didn't add up to the right one. It just seems exceptionally sad. Now, obviously, I and many other creators get some form of income from using Amazon affiliate links, but for me personally, I'm not going to anymore. I'm going to take off all the Amazon links. There's no point in me trying to support them or help give you an option to give them some money if they are going to destroy a cornerstone of the very thing that we all love. So that's my statement on that. And thank you for listening to me. If you have any thoughts about DP Review and its demise, if you have some thoughts, I'm sure you do, about Amazon as a company, it might be worth just keeping them to yourself, because I don't want it to become like a real horrible, nasty thing in there. I want you to share, if you have a positive thing about DP Review, share it in the comments below. Right? If you've got suggestions about other forums, other places that have a similar community, then also please share them in the comments below. YouTube often also feels like it doesn't particularly care for photography. And if you're trying to find some channels that YouTube has probably not shown you up until this point, check out this video over here. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.